looks like a lemon, it smells like a lemon, the data looks like a lemon, but you think it's a rose.
And we go live.
On some of the best pitches that you have heard from startup founders, and what are the common elements and some of the good ones that you notice?
Yeah, I guess I'll rattle off a couple, and I think Kelvin's being very humble because for sure he has this experience, so maybe he'll add once I get it started. I guess the first thing for me is founders have to love their product, their business. Like, it's so hard doing what Kelvin's doing, and even harder if you're like in your bedroom on your own trying to start this. Like, you have to have that grit and determination and passion for it. But there's this balance where you also have to be very realistic about your business and not be so in love with the concept that you won't kill it if it needs killing or if it needs to pivot, etc. So I guess one piece of advice I always give is trust the innovation process, and I'm being a bit general about that, but most people in this space know there is a process to this. It's more process than art almost, and trust that process and use data and customer proof and customer behavior to guide whether you're going in the right direction or not, because it's easy to fall in love with your product, and you want some degree of that because you want the passion when somebody's pitching. You don't want so much passion that there's no substance behind it either, and like it looks like a lemon, it smells like a lemon, the data looks like a lemon, but you think it's a rose. And so that's the first thing I'd say. It's hard these days to come up with something like a genuinely unique idea that nobody's ever come up with before. And so it's okay if your idea is not unique, but you do it better. And I used to work for Amazon, and I look at the Amazon business and say, there are large parts of what they do that they didn't invent, right? They didn't invent e-commerce. They didn't invent shopping. They just do it better than most. And so I think it's perfectly okay if your business model is to genuinely do it better. And then I think the third thing is really know your numbers. And I think in the day-to-day startup world, when you're not a unicorn and you're not on Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, like, you need to be showing a path to profitability and sensible approach to customer acquisition, like reality around those things, because I too often see people that say, well, we're going to go from nothing to 100,000 customers, and I'm like, what's the bit in the middle? Like, how's that happening? Because that's really hard. And how are you going to get to the first 1,000? Because that might be harder than the next 99. And so less than knowing that, like, what's the revenue going to be, what's the EBITDA going to be, but like, how are you going to get there? Like, what's that going to look like in terms of bringing people in and then monetizing that? One thing, getting customers. If I gave Kelvin $1 billion, I guarantee he'd go out and find a crazy number of customers, but we could lose some money really quickly. So how do we bring them in and monetize and run a good business at the same time? So a few random thoughts there, but I can see Kelvin smiling. I'm guaranteed he's got a couple of others.
Instinctively, it depends on what the pitch is, right? My view is most business plans can make sense. The first thing you look out for is whether or not those numbers that they are putting in front of you is weathered to reality, right? So a lot of founders will come in, and as far as I've seen, will tell you that, oh, you know what, as very rightly pointed out, I will grow from 0 to 100,000 customers a year. All right. So where's the breakdown of that? How many sales reps do you have? What's the productivity per sales rep? Is that information there? Are there details that are weathered in reality? If your productivity per sales rep, what is the benchmark to the market average for your particular industry? If it's a SaaS solution, if it's not a SaaS solution, and so on and so forth. If you can dig down the superficial business plan by at least 3 levels instinctively, then you have something credible. I think that's generally the first thing I look out for if I were to question someone on their business plan.